So you want to build a new website, but you're not too sure how much you should be paying. And you also want to consider, when I'm paying these costs, what am I actually paying for? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down to you what you need to consider when it comes onto different prices for websites and how you should think about how much you should spend on your next web design job. So let's get into the video and let's break it down. Hi everyone, my name is Laith and welcome to Wallace TV, and on this channel I share advice, tools and motivation to help you become a more impactful designer, to create revenue generating designs, and how you can deliver better results for the clients and the teams that you serve. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing, and I'm going to get deeper into the video now, so let's go. So let's talk about when it comes on to designing your websites. Now the first website price range is the £100 website, no more than £100. So let's be honest, nowadays, Shopify, Webflow, Framer, Wix, Squarespace, all of these tools you can actually get going for under £100. Another tool called High Level that gives you even more functionality you can all use for under £100. But if you're asking a designer to work with you, no good designer is really going to work with you for under £100 or £100. This is where you're taking the website job on for yourself and you're doing the work yourself. You're working with a template. You don't really have time to kind of learn these tools. So personally, it really depends on what you're trying to do. If you're using tools like Shopify, these tools are more geared for like the e-commerce, like you're selling a product. Shopify is fantastic. It gives you the proper CRM, sales system, invoicing, POS if you need it. All of that you can add on at a later stage. That's fantastic for that. If you just need to build, like you're a service-based business, you need to build a website, you don't want to actually have the customization, you just need templates. Tools like Wix, Squarespace, even other tools like even a Framer, even that is kind of like an entry level. You can still use it, but Framer does have a lot of customization. I would personally say at this level, you want to use tools like Wix and Squarespace. Fantastic to get you going. Wix has an even more professional tool called, I think it's called Wix Editor X, which gives you even more great templates to work with. So these are great ways to start, and £100 can get you going and you're good to go. The next stage is the £1,000 to £10,000. So at this mark, you're basically going to work with a designer potentially, and you should be thinking about, when you are working with this designer, what you're spending for the customizations they're giving you. At this price range, they might be doing some basic SEO. We call this on-page SEO, where they're looking at things like making your headings are right, your metadata is correct. They might even do some alt tags. They might even do some image shrinking, for example, to make sure your website loads really, really quickly. So these are kind of things you want to think about. You want to make sure that the SEO, the mobile friendliness of your site is definitely clear. The designer knows what they're talking about when it comes onto these things. That's roughly between the £1,000 and £10,000 mark. They can also make sure, like, how does maintenance look? How does security look? How do you integrate with any tools that you're using as well? And this kind of leads me into the next stage, which normally comes around the £10,000 mark for a website. And this is definitely where you're going into custom design, your better user experience. You're looking at user journeys being built out. You're making sure that this person, not only can they get the design right, but they're speaking your language around conversion, cost per acquisition, understanding the lifetime value of your customer, understanding sales funnels and what funnels need to put in place. Do you have any third-party integrations? So you might have HubSpot, you might have Salesforce, you might have any additional CRM tools that you're using. At £10,000, I've worked on sites that have used tools like High Level, because High Level is a great way that you can kind of have the flexibility. So the way I work is I have Webflow for the design functionality, the security, the SSL is amazing, the integration with third-party tools is brilliant. And then you can integrate with a CRM like High Level, HubSpot, Salesforce, etc. And you can use these CRMs to just embed forms on your website, so that any form field collection on your website goes straight into the CRM of these tools to empower your sales team. But then you have a website where you have the full functionality and design capabilities and customization and integrations of a tool like Webflow that is very powerful. And the beauty about a tool like Webflow is that it can scale with you as you grow your business. So you can come in at an entry level and start with Webflow at that under £100 mark. And as your business is growing and growing and growing, then you're doing really well. Now, I do pre-warn you, the reason why it's like 10,000 plus is because Webflow has a high learning curve. So you want to work with a designer that really knows what they're doing, although it's what we call a low code tool and you do get that design flexibility, I would say that at this mark, you really want that security, that integration with third party, because £10,000 plus, you definitely have other people who are using additional tools that need to integrate with your website as well. So after £10,000 up, you have the £100,000 up. The same things still apply to like the £10,000, but the difference at £100,000 plus is that if the website, someone's willing to spend over £100,000 for a website, then the main thing is that this website is generating at least 10 times that. So the way you want to think about it, even at every stage of the business, the website should be generating for that business 5 to 10 times what they're spending on the website anyway. But the key thing I want to share with you is that, I saw a recent study by Gartner where they said websites at this level offer advanced e-commerce features which can increase sales by 30% or more. So some of that advanced features really comes down to like CMS resources. This comes on to things like sales enablement. How are you enable the sales team? Are you integrating chat features and functions that could be important for the sales team? This could be all of the integrations with analytics tools that they're using. This could be things like 6sense. This could be things like HubSpot CMS, Salesforce CRM. This could be the way it's integrated with those third-party tools and your way you're tracking data. You could use other third-party tools like Heap or any analytics tools to really help power that website. You've got a marketing team who are running paid campaigns, so you've got pixels running on your website. You should have pixels at even £10,000 or £1,000 anyway, but you've got definitely your pixels are going. All of these things are being tracked on your website. So there's just more people involved in the actual website and care about what's happening on the site. So £1,000 plus sometimes isn't always around doing more than what you're doing at the £10,000 mark. It just means that someone's bringing you in, giving you more money because at that level how to communicate with different team members. You understand as a designer, how are you going to navigate and get insights and run workshops with all of the different teams that are involved, gather those insights to be able to create copy for those pages and manage the process of making sure everybody is super happy along the way and making sure that everyone has some insight into the input and can insight into the website and also provide feedback and make sure you can deliver it on time as well. Which leads me into the next stage, which is my kind of final stage, which is what we call the £1 million plus website. So the £1 million plus website, everything I said before is true. What I've seen in the £1 million plus website, we're talking like big e-commerce stores. We're talking like VOD platforms where you're looking at like custom built platforms that are servicing millions of customers. So I remember working with one company. It was a VOD platform and they had millions of customers. And when I was working with this company, there was a little badge that needed to be placed on a card. So think of a simple card that was showcasing a TV show that was coming in the next 6 months. And it was a little tag on the card that would inform the user coming soon. I remember we spent at least 2 months just to decide how that coming soon icon should look. And then when it came onto launching the feature, because it had to be rolled out in different territories across different languages and it had to be triggered at different times and in different time zones, there were so many things that needed to be considered for this simple coming soon badge. And I remember it took roughly 6 months for us to eventually get this little badge correct. And when it was launched, some people made some complaints on Twitter, and then internally that can have big effect on how people not only receive that, but how different team members can understand what do we even do with this information now customers have said something. The point I'm making is that at £1 million plus, because you might be serving more customers, it also means that the impact of what you're doing could have bigger effect on the wider team members. Now, a website could cost over £1 million, but you might not be serving millions of customers. And that could be because you're in maybe the B2B fintech space. And you may not have loads of customers that you're serving, but you could say the LTV per customer or the amount of money this website is going to help generate the business is in the hundreds of millions of pounds. So the website being £1 million when it's really generating hundreds or helping the team generate hundreds of millions, or it represents a business that's generating hundreds of millions, is accurate in regards to what you should charge for what you're actually doing as well. So there's so many things to consider in relation to pricing, but same things are a part of the consideration as I mentioned before: security, ease of integrations. How are you managing different input from team members? How are you taking that information, and how are you making sure that everyone's input is valued, it's also synthesized in a way that relates to the end customer? How are you helping to build out sales funnels? How are you helping to make sure that data is managed correctly? How is that data integrated? How is that data tracked? All of these additional questions happen at that, £1 million mark, where it's about a surety of results. £100,000 plus a surety of results. Now, everyone cares about results, but the more money somebody's willing to spend is a reflection on their business, and also is a reflection on your maturity in the process to be able to have a solid process that can deliver results for clients as well. So there's so much more I can share with you. If you'd love to know more, just literally drop in the comments any additional questions that I may have missed. But I hope that helps you to gain real clear insights on what you should think about spending on a website, or if you're a designer, how you should think about managing the process at different prices people are charging. But I hope that really makes sense. And if you'd love to know more, let me know in the comments below, and definitely take care and look after yourselves. See you later. Bye-bye.